Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial on how to use different characters within the mobile game Marvel Realm of Champions. We've had a look at a couple of different characters on the cast as of yet, and the next one that we need to pay attention to is Storm. Storm is a very interesting hero that can be a little bit difficult to wrap your head around and use effectively. But hopefully after today's video you will have a better understanding of how she is supposed to work so you can get the maximum efficiency out of using this character. So let's go ahead and dive into how this particular champion works, and as always, don't forget to leave a like on today's video if you find it helpful and or enjoyable, and subscribe for more daily content. So Storm falls into the support category, and this is an interesting classification for her because when I hear support, I generally think or associate the term of a character that will apply some sort of healing capability to the team, which unfortunately is not the type of support character that Storm is. However, she does have the ability to inflict a variety of different status effects on the opponents that she faces off against, depending on her weapon of choice, and that will help facilitate some of the combat that the other members of your team can push out. She has two weapons, like the rest of the cast that we've looked at thus far, that operate very, very differently from each other, and we'll look at them individually. First off, we have the wand, or the Blizzard Wand more specifically, that allots Storm the ability to conduct her combat with different ice-themed attacks. Her standard attacks are of the ranged variety, where she does not need to be right up next close to her opponents, but can cast different elemental attacks off in the direction of the enemies. The heavy attack when using the Blizzard Wand is the Icicle Spear, which is a slow-moving projectile that will explode upon impact or upon reaching maximum distance. And this heavy attack will deal a fair chunk of damage. Just keep in mind that people can kind of move out of the way of it if they are aware that it is coming after them, or duck behind a wall as well. The first ability that Storm has access to with the Blizzard Wand is the Element Blast, and this involves a flash freeze in the air around the target, and you can kind of see the area of effect where that will take place away from the character, and this will inflict chill onto the enemies. And this can be comboed into a couple of Storm's other abilities, which we'll talk about in just a moment, but this is a pretty quick ability that you can fire off to get some fast damage out on the opponents that you're working with. The second special ability is the Frost Nova, where Storm will freeze the targeted area instead of the targeted character, which raises ice barbs that deal cold damage and will also slow enemies. It also inflicts that same chill status ability, and if the opponent has a chill status ability and are afflicted with a secondary chill effect, they will be frozen solid. So ideally you want to look for opportunities where you can combo the Frost Nova into the Element Blast to leave your opponents wide open and very vulnerable to follow-up attacks from yourself or from your other teammates. Now that's what makes this character a little bit difficult to use, because you need to be able to zone those attacks around the same area for that maximum efficiency. However, the Frost Nova can also be used to create a bit of a buffer zone between yourself and some of the other characters, though you do want to keep in mind that characters like Hulk can activate their Unstoppable and waltz through the area of effect provided by that Frost Nova with little to no adverse effect. And finally, with the Blizzard Wand, we have Special 3, which is Blizzard. And this allows Storm to channel a massive vortex of frost in the area around her. This will periodically deal cold damage to the enemies caught within the blast, as well as inflict freeze as it layers on multiple effects of that chilled status. Again, the caution with this is if you have opponents that can go unstoppable, they will be able to move out of the range of that, and you can be knocked out of it with stun type attacks. So it's not a foolproof strategy, and if there are people that can negate your placement on this attack, then you are in for a world of hurt, because they will be able to counteract what you are doing by stunning you out of that animation, and then your special 3 ability is on to its long cooldown, so do keep that in mind. But with this Blizzard ability, most opponents are going to get caught in that vortex and take the maximum amount of damage that can be dealt, with a narrowly few exceptions from the other members of the cast. The other weapon that Storm has at her disposal is the staff, or more specifically, the lightning staff. And this weapon works very differently from the Blizzard wand. Now, the standard attacks do look fairly similar, though they have exchanged properties. Instead of being ice and frost related, they change over to being lightning related with the lightning staff. The heavy attack is also quite different, as it involves Storm channeling in a ball of lightning that deals shock damage, and this does not necessarily have to be in the line of sight of the character, though it does certainly help. But detonating this heavy attack will just instantly detonate that lightning ball effect around nearby enemies. Special 1 has the same name. Storm Special 1 with the lightning staff has the same name as the Blizzard 1 with the Blizzard 1, being the Element Blast, but because it is a different element-based attack, you will notice that it is quite different, with the electrostatic energy being dealt in the form of a bolt rather than a frost chill type blast. And enemies that are struck by this attack will become electrified, which causes them to take shock damage over time, as well as have a reduced energy resistance. The special 2 ability with the lightning staff is the Chain Lightning ability. This allows Storm to release a powerful lightning bolt that travels through her targets and chains into up to 2 other opponents. So if you are in a 3v3 type scenario, you will see that you can hit the entire opposing team with this attack, assuming that they are within that conical shape of the detonation zone when the attack is initially unleashed. And this does pack quite a punch as well. And finally, we have the Special 3 ability, which is the Thunder Tempest, which looks fairly similar to the Blizzard, but it involves inciting an electric tempest around the character to repeatedly strike her opponents with devastating lightning bolts for massive damage. However, this attack leaves you wide open and a lot more vulnerable than the Blizzard does, because it doesn't slow down the movement and doesn't render them incapacitated. So unless you have another teammate that can take the brunt of the incoming damage from you, or apply some sort of knockdown or stun to your opponents, you're probably going to end up dying if you use this ability against any of your opponents. Though they will suffer some damage, it's kind of a kamikaze type move if you choose to go about it that way. Personally, between these 2 weapons, I prefer the Blizzard Wand because it provides a little bit more reliability and will stun your opponents, allowing them to be more subject to damage follow-up from yourself and your other teammates. But there is the trade-off of having more upfront damage with the Lightning Staff as well. But what do you think about Storm as a character? Do you enjoy using her? Do you think she's a little bit too technical? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content. Thanks again for your time, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.